Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone who's listening to this podcast. Welcome to our Life Stories podcast. In this episode, I, your podcast buddy, Laima Sitcher Declarar, will take a look at the life of someone. Wanna guess who is it? Well, he's not a comedian. An actor? No. He's a novelist. He was born on August 1, 1819 and died on September 28, 1891. Wanna guess his age? Well, he was 72 years old when he died. Wait, but before we start knowing him well, I hope you guys are okay and doing well. If you're looking for a podcast that will inspire, educate, and wanna make you think, this one is for you. Listen to the life of Herman Melville and his well-known novel. Are you guys ready? Well, let's get this started! Herman Melville was an American novelist, short story writer, and poet of the American Renaissance period. Best known for his whaling novel Moby Dick, 1851. Melville was also a prolific author of short stories, poetry, and non-fiction. His works are characterized by their exploration of existential themes, their complex and often ambiguous characters, and their use of vivid imagery and symbolism. Wow, that's awesome, right? Born into a prominent New York family, Melville experienced financial hardship at an early age when his father died. He left school at the age of 12 to work, and at 18, he signed on as a crew member on a merchant ship. He spent the next few years sailing the world, and these experiences formed the basis for many of his early works, including Typee and Omo. After returning to New York in 1844, Melville embarked on a successful literary career. His first novel, Typee, was a fictionalized account of his time in Polynesia, and it was an instant success. Wow! He followed up with Omo, a sequel to Typee, and then with Mardi in 1849. It is a philosophical allegory that was not as well received. Still listening? I'm reminding everyone to enjoy this podcast. Let's go! In 1851, Melville published Moby Dick, his famous work. The novel tells the story of Captain Ahab's obsessive quest for revenge against Moby Dick, a white whale. Moby Dick was a critical and commercial failure upon its release, and Melville's career began to decline. Melville continued to write for the rest of his life, but he never again achieved the same level of success as he had with Moby Dick. He published several more novels, including Pierre or The Ambiguities in 1852, Israel Potter in 1855, and The Confidence Man in 1857, as well as a collection of short stories called The Piazza Tales in 1856. He also wrote a number of poems including Clarelle, 1876, and Billy Budd Sailor, 1891, which was published posthumously. Melville died in relative obscurity in 1891. It was not until the early 20th century that his work began to be rediscovered and appreciated. Today, he is considered one of the greatest American writers of all time. Herman Melville is considered one of the greatest American writers of all time for a number of reasons. First is his mastery of language. Melville was a gifted wordsmith with a vast vocabulary and a keen understanding of the English language. He used his language skills to create rich and evocative descriptions, complex and nuanced characters, and profound philosophical insights. Second is his exploration of existential themes. Melville's works are often focused on big questions about life, death, meaning, and the nature of existence. He explored these themes in a way that was both thought-provoking and emotionally resonant. Third is his complex and ambiguous characters. Melville's characters are often complex and contradictory, and they are not always easy to like or understand. This complexity makes his characters more realistic and relatable, and it also allows readers to engage with his works on a deeper level. Next is his use of vivid imagery and symbolism. Melville's works are full of vivid imagery and symbolism that help to create a sense of atmosphere and to convey deeper meanings. His use of language is often poetic and metaphorical, and it adds to the richness and complexity of his works. Lastly is his influence on other writers. Melville's work has had a profound influence on other writers, both American and international. His use of language, his exploration of existential themes, and his complex characters have all inspired and challenged generations of writers. Now you know the reasons why he is considered one of the greatest American writers of all time. I hope you guys are still there. If you're looking for a podcast that will inspire, educate, and want to make you think, this one is for you. Now let's talk about some of Herman Melville's most famous works. Number 1. Moby Dick in 1851. It is an epic novel about Captain Ahab's obsessive quest for revenge against the white whale Moby Dick. It is considered one of the greatest American novels ever written. Number 2. Typee in 1846. It is a fictionalized account of Melville's experiences in Polynesia. It is a story of adventure and survival, and it explores themes of culture, identity, and freedom. Number 3. Omo in 1847. It is a sequel to Typee. It is a travelogue of Melville's experiences in the South Africa, and it explores themes of colonialism and cultural exchange. Number 4. Billy Budd, Sailor in 1891. It is a novella about a young sailor who is falsely accused to mutiny and murder. It is a story of justice, innocence, and the nature of good and evil. Number 5. Pierre or the Ambiguities in 1852. It is a complex and philosophical novel about a young man's struggle to find meaning in life. It is a story of ambition, guilt, and redemption. Number 6. Israel Potter in 1855. It is a historical novel about a young man who is befriended by Paul Revere and Benjamin Franklin. It is a story of adventure, friendship, and the American Revolution. Number 7. The Confidence Man in 1857. It is a satirical novel about a con man who travels the Mississippi River. It is a story of deception, greed, and the nature of human nature. Number 8. The Piazza Tales in 1856 is a collection of short stories set in Italy. It is a diverse collection of stories that explores themes of love, loss, and alienation. Well, that's the list of Herman Melville's most famous works. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Since Moby Dick is considered one of the greatest American novels ever written, I prepared a summary of this novel just for you. Moby Dick tells the story of Ishmael, a sailor who seeks escape from the mundane by joining the crew of the Pequod, a whaling ship captained by the driven and vengeful Ahab. Ahab is consumed by a desire for revenge against Moby Dick, a giant white whale who took his leg in a previous encounter. Driven by his obsession, Ahab disregards all the warnings and dangers in his pursuit of the whale. He pushes his crew to their limits, risking their lives and sanity. The narrative follows their thrilling hunts for various whale species, interspersed with philosophical musings on the nature of life, good versus evil, and the power of the sea. Ishmael forms a deep bond with Kikeg despite their cultural differences. Their friendship serves as a contrast to Ahab's consuming obsession, highlighting the importance of human connection and understanding. The climax of the story arrives when the Pequod finally encounters Moby Dick. The ensuing battles are epic and destructive, culminating in the Pequod's destruction and the demise of almost everyone aboard. Ishmael, miraculously surviving by clinging to Queequeg's coffin, becomes the sole witness to the tragedy. The novel ends with Ishmael reflecting on the events he has witnessed. He is left to ponder the meaning of life and the mysteries of the universe, while at the same time recognizing the enduring power of the sea and the human spirit. That was the summary of Moby Dick in 1851 written by Herman Melville. The novel's powerful prose, unforgettable characters, and the profound exploration of human nature have ensured its place as a literary masterpiece. Now you know why Melville was a prolific and versatile writer, and his novels are still read and studied today. They are considered classics of American literature, and they continue to inspire and challenge readers. I hope this helps and educates you about the life of Herman Melville. I know you guys gain knowledge from me. Once again, I am your podcast buddy, Laima Sityer Declarar. See you on our next episode. Looking for a podcast that will inspire, educate, and want to make you think? This podcast is always for you. Bye everyone!
Hi, and thank you for listening. Would you like to use this music in your video? You can easily license it with just one click and use in any personal or commercial project. Visit tunepocket.com to get started.